All right. So, it's our first ever office hours, and we're going to have some fun today. If you guys. Hmm, that's weird. One second, let me check something. Interesting. Well, at any rate, um, we're gonna get to some work tonight. I'm gonna get some stuff done in terms of going through some queries, maybe even working on my bullet journal for October, because honestly, this thing, we still haven't started the October anything. We have September and then nothing for October, and we're a week into October, so I feel like maybe I should get on top of that, because this is something I've been neglecting for myself, is my bullet journal. So that's definitely something we're going to do as well. But in the meantime, we're just going to wait for some questions, chill here, get some work done, and hopefully just vibe out. Yeah. So tonight I was thinking I'd first go through some queries. I have so many queries on Query Manager. It's just loading up now, but I'll tell you the number of queries I'm up to right now. 168. So let's go through. Normally when I'm looking through queries, I'll flag a few and basically like flag for, are they a diverse creator, flag for that, flag for if I'm interested in the premise, flag for if it's over 100,000 words, especially if it's like a YA novel, if it's over 100,000 words, just so that I know what I'm getting into, shorthand from some color flags as I'm going through later, more in depth. So this is basically just some like prelim stuff for me when I would start working on queries, and this is just my personal process. This one, let's see. Honestly, it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but basically I'm just reading, which is most of the job. I can only say so much about the queries that I'm looking at, because I'd like to keep up with confidentiality, obviously, but that's just the way it goes. Amazing. And I also have a 2-monitor setup, which is pretty cool. So, convenient for me just because it means I can pretty much, cross-reference, do a lot more work, not have to switch between as many windows, all of that good stuff. So if you see me looking over here and then looking over there and looking back, it's because I got that 2-monitor setup, and I do not regret ever setting it up that way, because it has been supremely helpful with pretty much all of the stuff I have to be doing when I'm working, not just working, but like, doing random stuff, doing like gaming. For instance, I'll like game on this screen and then I'll talk to my friends on Discord on this screen, something like that. Like, it's just really, honestly, having a 2-monitor setup, definitely recommend it. I am a big PC nerd, so if you have questions about PC builds too, like that works. I will talk to you about that too. But for now, we're just gonna keep working. Let me know if you guys have any questions and we can get started on answering some of them. But for now, we're just gonna keep chugging through these 168 queries. And as I'm kind of doing this, you can see my friend in the corner up here, actually in the corner up here, uh, she is named Mochi. She is my friendly cat on the channel for when my cat doesn't want to be around. She's basically a big alert thing, so if you follow during the stream, if you tip during the stream, if you do anything during the stream, she'll shout it out for us. So sometimes when I'm looking through queries, I will notice that maybe one is more suited to someone else at the agency instead. So like maybe like it's a genre that someone likes way more than me, and so therefore it might be more up their alley than my own. So I'll typically refer manuscripts over. I usually message my colleagues in Slack first before I do anything with them. And then what's a really cool thing about Query Manager is it has this really cool forwarding feature where I can just forward a query to one of my coworkers, to one of the other agents at the Rights Factory, and they can check that out through their Query Manager. And most of us at the Rights Factory do use Query Manager. I think the only people who don't, are Sam, our founder, and then Nat. She doesn't use Query Manager either. I think they only take queries through email, but pretty much all of us, for the most part, use Query Manager to do our submissions. It's really convenient, honestly. It's such a nice system for organizing everything in terms of, when you got it, who's it from, all of the different form fields that you can personalize to your own form, and then being able to go through and kind of see the information you want to see. Have a separate section for smaller pitch, or a separate section for some author questions, or even just wanting to hear about, for instance, I have a question here for authors if they want to tell me a bit about their inspiration for writing the story, and if they have inspiration they can fill that in. If they don't want to share it, they don't have to. One of the big things on my Query Manager actually is in the author tab, and it's do you self-identify as a socially marginalized writer and are comfortable sharing that with me? If you are comfortable sharing that with me, I use that and flag it as a book from, if you say yes, a book from a diverse, underrepresented author, and then I'll usually give those queries a bit more attention, just because I do want to help more people from marginalized communities get into publishing. I feel like it's hardest for us most of all. But that being said, I do give every single query a chance, depending on if I'm interested or not, so we'll just see how it goes. This next one I'm looking at is a sci-fi, and I'm excited about it because sci-fi. I just really want to be able to represent, I don't know what it is right now, I don't know what it is this year, but lately I've just been thinking, wouldn't it be great to represent more sci-fi, futurism, especially sci-fi from marginalized perspectives. And then the other thing I really want to do is more romance. So I'm actually flagging all the romance ones right now and going through and being is this a romance? Take a look at this. This is important for me to look at, because I actually don't have any romance on my list yet. So I'm kind of just hoping to find something that fits that, fits kind of my tastes and for what I want in terms of like a romance story. So I'm actually flagging all of those right now. That's what I'm doing out of all 168 queries I have, unless it's grown since I last checked. Oh yeah, I got one more in the time between I started looking and now, so let's check that one out too. I've actually started drinking from water bottles recently, uh, mainly because my beautiful cat, who I love so much, she she's been drinking from my glasses. So if I have like a glass that's like just open like this, it's she sticks her whole face in it and tries to lick from it. Luckily, she's not in my room tonight. Luckily or unluckily, if you wanted to see her, but yeah, I've started drinking like directly from water bottles, and I just bought a couple from Costco, reusable water bottles from Awala, those ones with the straw that were really popular for a while. And I'm really excited to try them actually. I still need to wash them out and everything before I start using them, but I'm very excited to see how that helps me in my fight to keep my water away from my cat. Because as you can see in the back there, actually, right there, that's her water fountain. She has her own water. It is full, it is ready to be drank from, but she just doesn't want to drink from it. Silly baby. Such a silly baby. All right, so just to help me during this time period of like finding new authors and things, I'm just adding 2 new query tags to my system so that I can more easily find kind of what I've tagged things as. The 2 tags that I'm adding right now are actually just for romance and sci-fi, just so that I can tag them as such so I know that like, oh yeah, this is what I'm specifically looking for, while also keeping in mind all the rest of everything that's come in so far. Honestly, sometimes when I go through queries, I just think, wow, you guys are all so creative. You have such amazing ideas in here. But when it comes to actually like being interested in your ideas versus like being interested in taking you on as a client. It's truly the like execution of that idea that matters. uh, and it's personal taste too. Like I could absolutely hate something someone else loves, uh, and that's just super subjective, and it's never ever personal. So don't take it personally. Like just biggest advice is don't take it personally. honestly, this is kind of relaxing. I definitely see why professors at universities hold office hours. This is nice getting stuff done, just having a specific time slot to get stuff done in. All right, page 1 of 4 is done. It's probably because it's so late, but I'm quite tired. This one just compared one of its characters to Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen, which, you know what? Yeah, I'm interested in this one. Not at all because I'm biased, not at all because I like Gojo Satoru, but maybe a little bit, Oh man. I still need to actually finish reading JJK, but when reading's your job, like, you just don't really feel like it. You don't really feel like reading more. Honestly, outside of work reading for like agenting and things, I usually end up reading manga. Like, I don't really end up reading like other books. Right now I am reading My Mechanical Romance, which is really good. It's a YA romance. There's robotics, it's great. It's like entirely up my alley and it's great. But like, this is the first book that I've actually picked up in a while where I've actually been able to get through multiple chapters in like one sitting without like having to drag myself through and lose my attention. Like, my attention span for books is just gone unless I'm working. So a lot of the time I end up just reading manga, but lately I haven't really been reading any of that either. I think the last thing I read, well, the only thing I'm keeping up with right now actually is Chainsaw Man, so I'm not completely caught up. I'm a couple chapters behind, I think, but damn, Chainsaw Man's getting so intense. Like, it's getting crazy. It's getting intense in like a crazy, like, ridiculous way. I'm still of the camp that Chainsaw Man should have ended after the first part, but I do like specific parts of the second part, so like it's kind of weird. I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about Chainsaw Man, but I do have a little Denji figure over on my bookshelf over there. You cannot see it, but he's sitting on my bookshelf and he's happy. Happier than he is in the manga, that's for sure. One interesting thing I find about queries a lot of the time is actually how many times people will say that uh, their target audience for their book. A lot of people will say their target audience for their book is for readers of all genders, all ages, all backgrounds, and I just disagree. That's not how you sell a book to people. You do not sell a book to people by telling them it's for everybody. Like, if stuff was for everybody, everyone would be on the same page all the time. Like, that's not the case in this world. If you know anything about this world, you know that everyone has entirely, completely subjective opinions about everything they've ever read. So to say that it'll captivate readers of every age and every taste, and it's not really a thing. I never believe you when writers say that. I never believe them. It's just not possible to, cater to every single person in the world. It's just not a thing. Like, even commercial books, which are made to hit as many people as possible. Even commercial books, it's just, you're still going to find that part of the audience where even though it caters to them, they still didn't like it. They still didn't resonate with them. See, I got excited about this query because they said that it was a magical girl book in the genre, but I'm very much seeing it as not a magical girl book in the actual query. Interesting choice. Well, that sucks.